So this could go a couple ways, but how much do you factor a firm's accounting system during an M&A transaction? So this could go kind of either way. I'll actually jump in on this one since this is kind of the world I live in. So most of the M&A transactions I do are accounting firm to accounting firm M&A transactions. So these are firms that are going to have, multiple systems and all this stuff in place, likely at the sizes that my transactions usually fall in. If we're looking at like a private company, so construction, manufacturing type of company that's selling or something like that, that's not a world that I can speak to as clearly. But in the accounting world, M&A transactions, the accounting systems never really, I don't want to say they're going to add any value to a firm. If you have a thriving practice that is niche in one specific software program, like if you have a thriving Intact practice or NetSuite or Xero or Acumatic or whomever out there, that's important. If that firm already does that, they'll value that a little bit differently. But when you look at like accounting systems and software programs that are in place, I would say the majority of M&A transactions out there in the accounting firm to accounting firm sector, it's just going to not discount you to have good accounting systems in place, but it's never really going to add much value to the practice. It's fun. I've seen a lot of people out there now who ironically are selling software programs saying, "Oh, if you use our program and it'll increase your multiple when you sell your firm." And I'm just like, "Oh, wow, that is off base, to say the least, because it doesn't matter what you're using. When I acquire you, you're going to start using what I'm already using." So I think the short answer in the accounting M&A sector, if you are up to date on whatever programs you're using, it's just going to not discount you. But it's pretty rare when we see that dramatically impact or increase the value of a firm.
When you're answering this question, are you thinking about what they're using internally to operate their financials, or are you considering what they're using to operate their clients' financials?
I'd say yes, everything across the board,
So your
because
answer fits for both.
yes, exactly. It does because, you know, as long as you're not a dinosaur from a technological standpoint, regardless of whatever systems you're using, there's going to be some changes, some migration in those systems. Even if you're on the same systems and I acquire somebody, I'm not going to give you a higher valuation because we happen to be running the same software systems. That's just not going to happen. But what it will do is if we're on completely different systems, or Matt, I'm looking to acquire your practice and you're a bit of a dinosaur from a technological standpoint, you're not up to date in whatever softwares you're using internally, that can discount your practice. But it's rare that it goes the other way.
You mean like
That's
when you still paper file returns as a tax preparer?
correct, which I have seen recently.
It was a previous episode you
Yep.
talked about it. I
It
just
was a
thought
good high performing firm, and guess what? They sold it at a steep discount because it's no different when the accounting systems are taking place, whatever software programs you're on. If there's a lot of work that needs to get done to get that firm in a place where you can integrate them efficiently, it's going to discount the practice. But it's pretty rare when I see increased multiples, which I love people who don't do any transactions talk about that, saying if you use my software, your firm uses my software, you'll get a better multiple when you sell. I would say the majority of the time that's just blowing smoke. That's snake oil.